Hi, this piece is about motherhood and time and the ache of watching both slip through your fingers. It started in the car with a question from my youngest daughter, the kind of question that doesn't seem like much until it splits you open. It's for anyone who's ever tried to outrun the past, only to find it waiting in the back seat, legs swinging, asking if it's their turn yet. Did anything bad happen when we were being born? Charlie, the youngest of my 3 daughters, peppers me with questions anytime we are alone. To you and your sisters? In the hospital, you mean? Yes. What's the worst thing? Her eyes sparkle in the rearview mirror, and she sits up straight in the booster seat she can hardly wait to outgrow. She's 8, and the rules are she must be a particular weight and height combination before that happens. She's got a ways to go, but as the youngest, she's hell-bent on growing up as fast as she can. Her sisters are 16 and 12, and Charlie would happily catapult past them to the fabulous life she envisions. I consider her query thoughtfully. I've always figured childbirth's worst outcomes were inflicted on me, on certain parts in particular, but it's clear she isn't interested in my problems. I suppose Stella had a difficult time eating. The angst caused by my first child's refusal to nurse had been overwhelming 16 years ago, the hopelessness of it encoded in memory. Also on my tailbone, which is crooked from falling down the stairs and breaking it on my due date as I went in search of, wait for it, a book on natural pain management. Charlie apparently doesn't care about the hot tears of a postpartum mother who pumped every 2 hours for 9 weeks because she misunderstood the hospital's instructions. Her tone conveys the eye roll I know is there but don't see. No, not that, like something bad. Sophie's cord had a knot in it, I offer. I sense the motivation behind her queries and attempt to give her what she wants, the blood and guts a child craves when they are secure. I ensure a dramatic tone as I exaggerate her 12-year-old sister's potential early demise. She could have died at any moment. Charlie glowers at me in the rearview mirror. No, something that did happen, not something that could have happened. I ponder the births of these girls as I weave us home through snowy streets. Charlie's questions came after we'd moved earlier that summer to the farm where I'd lived as a teenager. The same farm where I discovered what it felt like to inhabit rage. Who does this to their kids? We now commuted to all the lessons and activities established when we lived in the city. There was a purpose to squatting here in my family home. It wasn't some psychological working through the scene of the crime thing. It's that we needed a place to live while we renovated another house. It meant lots of driving here and there, the upside of which was dedicated time together, occasions to talk without the lure of devices and a rush of chores that enveloped us at home. The downside of which was time together, without the numbing effects of devices and rote performance of menial tasks that are the life of a housewife. You had phlegm in your chest after you were born. I attempt to make this condition seem graver than it was. The night nurse came in and took you, saying, "I'll just keep this little one with me at the station while I work." When she brought you back in the morning, your breathing was much better. My voice is a sing-song, the lilting rhythm of one of the favorite books I've read my girls over and over. Charlie frowns out the window at snowy fields and frozen horizons. She ignores my lame attempt to turn a few hours of respite into dramatic crisis. I'd been aghast when my obstetrician assured me I'd deliver this child regardless of the hacking cough that settled in after suffering the flu, and disappointed to notice post-delivery that not only was I just as sick, I now leaked fluid out of orifices I had no control over as I continued to cough incessantly. What about when you had your tooth pulled? This is the ticket. Blood, pliers, pain. You had laughing gas. You were so silly, remember? She waves her hand dismissively. That's not what I mean. Sophie has one kidney, and now Stella had surgery. What's my story? I want a story. In an instant, Charlie reminds me what makes the world turn. Everyone wants a story. Charlie wants her rising action, her crisis, her solution, her denouement. Sophie didn't find out she only had one kidney till she was 11, and it's not a big deal, I remind her. And Stella is 16, and she just had that surgery. Stella's operation to correct jaw problems was fresh and had taken up a lot of space in our family for a while. Before that, Sophie went through tests to tease out a gastrointestinal issue. The solitary kidney had only been discovered by chance. I glance at Charlie in the mirror. You'll have lots of stories eventually. She's listening, but her expression remains skeptical. I want my thing, she protests quietly. Logic has not illuminated what I was attempting to convey, that life itself will bring her countless experiences. She complains mightily for a while as I brake and accelerate carefully on icy roads, listening with half an ear and darting my eyes in a never-ending figure eight to watch for potential problems. I seek common ground. When I was little, I wanted a broken arm. I figured a cast would get me all sorts of attention. I remember vividly the yearning to be both unique and sought after. I didn't care about the pain. I figured it would be worth it, you know? I wanted people to ask about it. All the kids in my class would sign it. It was more than that. They'd want to sign it. Charlie nods in the back seat, brow furrowed. She's perfectly aware of what it is she's looking for, why she is searching for her own storyline. She wants to matter, her life to have meaning, significance, a narrative. We turn into the lane, and the warm glow of lights welcome us. We park in the garage and enter through the side door, discarding boots and winter jackets and a hot pink sequined dance bag with 7 pair of dirty socks in the bottom. The dogs bark and rush to jump at Charlie, and I'm in high demand. Stella needs help with the syringe we use to give her medicine while her jaw heals, and Sophie needs a permission slip signed. Everyone is hungry, and I remember the load of laundry I forgot to transfer to the dryer. I slip into my role easily. It's been honed for 16 years now, hard to believe, and while I certainly don't have it nailed, at least I generally know my lines. I think about Charlie's request later as I load the dishwasher so it can run overnight. I try out explanations in my mind. Life will bring you so many arcs. Your story is unfolding. It's coming, sweet thing. Don't rush it. I generally do my best to temper lessons and ensure they are age appropriate for each of my girls, but my boundaries are a mess and my judgment impaired. How can I soothe her perfectly natural angst without alerting Charlie to how awful the world can be? I've reached the middle of my life on paper, and the sense of urgency propelling me has amped to dizzying speeds. A precarious combination of time slipping and my inattentive nature feels combustible. panic overtakes me, displaced only by a sense of hopelessness. I've never been able to stop, motoring on and making the best of the less than ideal situations that generally were my own doing. I tried. I know I did. I have access to the devotion with which I attacked marriage and motherhood, only to allow myself to become overwhelmed. The wheels would begin to fall off the bus, each time becoming harder and harder to put back on, out of control, becoming impossible to catch the way it had been when it was just me. The terrible dichotomy that I believe at the same time I am funny and intelligent and capable and also awful and useless and a failure has no middle ground. Scrabbling for hold on the belief I can achieve things means I run out of energy before I'm able to achieve them. Time is passing. My countdown thrums, amplified now by Charlie's honest acknowledgement of how it will be. I'm jealous of Stella and Sophie, she says from the seat of truth where she's perched again behind me. Why, lovey? I ask. I can think of a million reasons why the youngest of three would envy sisters with more freedom and privilege than she has at her age. They got to spend more time with you already. She means this literally. That's true, I say, but you'll get that same time as you grow. I smile brightly, confident I've offered genuine comfort and my words will soothe. She shakes her head. You're wrong, she says. How old will you be when I'm 30? Math is not my forte, but I try. 66? 67? My chest squeezes at the powerful realization I may miss most of her life. With good luck and good health, things I know are not guaranteed, nor can they be secured. I might live to 90, and that's pushing the ages of all of my grandparents. Even at 80, Charlie will be only 43, and the chilling realization it's likely I won't know my child when she's at the age I am now drives any perky comfort I want to offer. You'll have your own family, I tell her, but my words ring thin. Will she? And your sisters, I say, this time more certain. They'll look after you. Charlie turns and stares out the window at the passing landscape, its stark winter beauty striking me now as bleak instead. Both of us know different things, but it's clear. At whatever level, each of us have hit upon one of life's biggest heartbreaks, one for which there is no solution and only poor comfort. There are so many people who suffer loss and death, I remind myself. Be grateful for what you have. Build the foundation that carries these girls through. That night, long after Charlie has gone to bed, I feel myself slipping. That's the thing about time. It steals in small ways before you even realize it's happening. I blink hard, trying to clear it all away. My hands grip the edge of the sink, as if holding still might stop it. How much healing does there have to be, God damn it? There is true suffering in this world. I offer myself lists of those who have it worse. The starving, the poor, the ones living with war, with intolerable abuse. It's endless and terrible, and I wonder how I have the audacity to claim unhappiness. It must be chemical, I decide, and start sleuthing. I read everything, devour studies like they might save me. Can I fix not only myself, but also my dad? I picture carefully measured doses, formulas that might untangle years of damage. I look the other way and place myself on high alert, watching for any signs of anything in my girls, anything that might lead them down the same path. I never got that broken arm. Never had the cast that would have ensured clamoring classmates begging to leave their mark on my misfortune as they basked in the proximity of an interesting occurrence. Instead, I got an entirely different life, one that made a fractured limb seem like not much at all. I got a narrative, all right, but not the one I'd craved, and no one has signed anything. But I'll sign this for you if you like. I'd love that. Let this be my moment in the sun. My memories are bisected by before and after. Before my father discovered the 2x2s, the secretive religious Christian cult walking almost unseen among us, and after he discovered this terrible group of misfits and dove headfirst into whatever made him susceptible to their charm. Joining the 2x2s as a child colored every aspect of my life, and I am who I am because of it. But raising 3 girls means I constantly deconstruct myself so I don't harm them the way I so easily could. I imagine those who came before me, a long line of women stretching back, how quickly each became not more than simply part of the whole. I imagine that same line advancing forward. Consider how soon my own life won't matter. How many generations before no one remembers my name? It won't take long. I struggle to name my grandparents' parents' names and imagine potential descendants of mine as the same. It's not wrong that this happens, but it bothers me. At the same time, it surprises me when I find comfort in this fact. A life matters, I'm sure of it. Tilts a balance one way or another. I press my thumb on the scale. There's not much sense in being disappointed about how things were, but it's so much work to first accept and to then turn that into fuel. If I don't fuel my life in this way, the fire I tend must be fed by something other than anger and hurt. So I work. I press my thumb on the scale, shift the weight just a little, because Charlie is watching, because one day she'll tend a fire of her own. Thank you for listening. If this found you in a moment where time feels sharp or slippery, or just unfair, you're not alone. I'll be back soon with more. And until then, press your thumb on the scale, just a little, and take good care. This is Kristen, and this is Cultivated. And if you enjoyed this piece, please subscribe, and feel free, please, to share this with others. And if you're moved to do so, please share a comment. I read them all, I treasure them, and I love to respond. So thank you.